We've had a few Florida man cases on this channel so far, just by pure coincidence. But this one may be the most Florida man of all, as far as I'm concerned. A naked man appears dancing on a couple's roof, only to jump down into the home and vandalize it in bodily fluid-related ways, all while dodging bullets. It was the magical, confusing year of 2013. The production of and widespread usage of synthetic drugs such as K2 and spice were a common topic of discussion, both casually and all over the news media. Eventually, these drugs got more and more out of hand, leading up to the one that most people are probably the most familiar with, the one referred to as bath salts. Bath salts quickly became famous for making people go absolutely insane. There were numerous accounts of people completely losing their minds after taking this drug, and cases about it were all over the news at the time. The most notable example is probably that of the case that came to be called the Miami Cannibal Attack, in which a man, on bath salts, ate the face off of another man. And while that case was still fresh on everyone's mind, this seemingly related case would happen.
This, I think, can only happen in Florida. There, we've had the bath salts freakouts of addicts going in and doing crazy stuff. This guy, he wins the trifecta. He did the most, I think, that anybody has ever done.
North Fort Myers, Florida, because of course Florida, on the 17,000 block of Old Bayshore Road. One fateful night, a married couple, Tony and LaDonna Land, would meet a very strange man and witness a very strange incident that would likely scar them for life. Tony and LaDonna were relaxing in their bedroom at around 7 p.m. on a Monday night when they heard a loud sound that sounded like thunder. However, it wasn't storming at all outside. Tony went outside to check exactly what may have happened, unsure what could have caused a sound like that. He soon discovered the cause, and it was something that he likely would have never expected. Tony spotted a crazy man dancing around on top of his roof, completely naked, running around in circles on the shingles. To Tony's shock, the man then jumped off the roof, landed on him, started punching him repeatedly, and then shoulder barged him, knocking him to the ground. The man then ran off toward the entrance of the home. As the crazy naked man ran into the house, he went straight for a big screen TV that was mounted to the wall, ripped it down, and threw it to the floor. He then ran over to a vacuum cleaner, opened it up, and threw the contents all over the floor. Then he ran off toward the couple's son's bedroom, where several guns were currently being stored. It was at this point that the man could have become extremely dangerous, even more so than he already was. Tony yelled for LaDonna to get the gun. She grabbed a .38 revolver and aimed it at the crazy man, firing 3 shots towards him. The man managed to dodge all of the bullets, with them hitting the drywall behind him instead, as he continued his antics. They then understandably called 911, and you can hear the fear in their voices during the call. Unfortunately, most of the call has been lost to time, but I do have this portion at least.
He jumped off my roof and run right in my house. I don't know who the hell he is. He's naked. He run in my damn house. He's laying on my floor. He run in my house naked, pooping and hollering, tearing up. Get down. Lay down.
The Lands informed the operator that, after they fired the shots at the man and missed, he fell to the ground and started, pleasuring himself all over the floor. He then hopped back up and ran off toward their son's bedroom once again, where he picked up some laundry off of the floor and began rubbing it all over his face. The operator then, possibly getting a bit frustrated at all of the chaos, began asking more direct questions. The operator said, "Okay, sir, I need to know who you shot." Tony responded, "I don't know who the hell he is. He's naked and he ran into my damn house." The operator once again asked, Sir, what is going on?" Tony said, "Bitch, you're fixin' to die now. Lay down. I'm talking to you. I won't say it again. Lay down." Tony Land pulled out a shotgun and yelled at the man, "Lay down, motherfucker. Lay down." The operator was able to hear this over the call loud and clear. Tony was able to hold the man at gunpoint until the police arrived a few minutes later. When they got there, they attempted to control the man who was jumping around. wildly flailing his arms and screaming incoherently. Police quickly noticed that the man had defecated all over the floor in 2 spots within the room. When the police tried to calm him down, the man started viciously devouring the contents of the vacuum cleaner that he had spilled all over the floor. He then, understandably, threw it up. He tried to escape from the officers several times as they struggled to get a hold of him. Eventually, he got so out of control, well, even more so than he already was apparently, that they were forced to use a taser to catch him. When hauling him out of the home, the officers found 2 more places where he had defecated in the home. One spot being right there at the front door where they had to pass through. He was then taken to Lee Memorial Hospital to be evaluated. He was kept under their observation until some checks could be completed, after which he would be arrested. Mainly, they wanted to do some toxicology tests and find out exactly what the man was on at the time, immediately suspecting either hallucinogens or, you guessed it, something like bath salts. The man, who was completely naked at the time during his entire rampage, was soon identified by a tattoo on his back. You see, the man had his own name tattooed across his back for the police to find. He was revealed to be a 21-year-old man named Gregory Matthew Bruni from a town called Venice in Florida. According to several reports, Gregory was a carnival worker, a carny, if you like. There was a local fair that was soon to be held at the Lee Civic Center near the couple's home. It's possible that he was there in preparation for the event. The police obviously wanted to know why the man was acting this way. Bruni sat in the hospital as they ran the tests, knowing that he was facing a slew of charges the second he got out of that hospital. Those charges included burglary, battery, and criminal mischief. And then after a while, the doctors were able to reveal exactly what drug Bruni had been on. Nothing. They were unable to find any sort of substances in his system. Although they still wanted to perform some more tests, the police stated that Gregory was not found to be under the influence of any sort of drug. The bath salts that everyone assumed to find in his system were just simply not there. But despite this fact, the case still came to be associated with the bath salts craze, with it likely being that people heard the initial coverage of the case in the news, but never came back to check what the toxicology results might have came out to be. Bruni was soon hit with a long list of charges: criminal mischief, battery, occupied burglary, and resisting arrest without violence. He was soon booked into jail right after being released from the hospital. Newscasters, understandably, had a really hard time explaining this case with a straight face. Unlike a lot of other seemingly bath salts related cases, this one at least resulted in no injuries. Unless you count the taser, but like long-term bad injuries. And obviously the case played out in a very comedic fashion. Most of them couldn't get through the entire report without laughing, or at least making some sort of smart-ass comment.
So he went and broke into a couple's home in Tampa. He was naked. He was on the roof, and he went inside. He pooped on their floor, and he masturbated on the floor, and then he also decided to assault the vacuum cleaner.
He was completely naked when he jumped off the roof, ran inside their home, trashed it, and then proceeded to both poop and masturbate. The standoff ended when the couple held the man at gunpoint. Bruni was then taken by police to the hospital for observation.
How did he have time to do that?
I know. I want to figure out how long did it take the police to get there? Because he pooped in 2 different places, apparently.
Exactly. Well, he might have been running as he was pooping, and then he was able to get from one room to the other.
God.
I wasn't able to find exactly what happened to Gregory after the incident, aside from the fact that he was seemingly arrested again 2 years later in 2015 for burglary, property damage, battery, and resisting an officer in a nearby city. Hopefully he left his pants on for that incident and didn't get any bodily fluids all over the crime scene. If anyone else can find out whether he has committed any crimes since, please do let me know in the comments. I am genuinely very curious about this one. Please though, don't dox the guy or anything. Let's just keep it to the arrests and whatnot. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you didn't mind the 2 shorter videos this week. I thought, try something new. If you feel the video deserved a like, please go ahead and give it one. It really does help. And if you enjoy the content, also feel free to subscribe because I make a lot of stuff like this, for better or for worse. And if you really want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon that I keep linked in the description below. Speaking of which, shout out to the top patrons. I don't know what I'm pointing at. Marianne McCurdy, Jewel G, Wafrans, Jules Latona, Arctic Cat, Alan Damiani, Adrian Lawley, Winnicott, David McLaughlin, Marsh, Buffazerk, Lonro, Jewel Mauve-Chan, Lori Tayaba, Kim Peak, Lux Alpaca, Charity, Skooky Maine, Jackie, Teresa Ferguson, and Mark Barnett. I don't know what to say. You guys are just really good. Thank you, and good night.